Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for a new and exciting video. This time we gotta really, I haven't done such a video in a long time. I do this regularly. I've said many times, I don't believe that many are ready to see and accept this and understand how this happens. Now we're on the newest Sol. As you know, I'm not quite too fond of what Curiosity is putting out lately. But by accident, because hey, I still do check it out, of course, still a big Curiosity fan. Although, well, Opportunity's like awesome too. Now we're on Sol 644, and immediately what you should notice here is the grid that they've put down over the image. I never understood why there's a grid on images. I just can't fathom this. And I'll tell you exactly why. I've done this many times on YouTube, and you should definitely check this out for yourself. It has 437 kilobytes size. Now we go to a color image. So this image doesn't even contain color data. And you can see it's just as rocky. So the amount of the image size should be around the same. But you go here, you see about 250 kilobytes, which is, if you know what I'm talking, it just doesn't make sense. So I'm studying this up like more in detail than previously. Studying up they're using a special format for images, and they're using it's called ICER, and you can make images, compress them lossless. So it's lossless compression, and it should be really outstanding. But the reason it is, you have a grid here, and you would say, alright, so the image by itself already contains less data. It doesn't seem to be the case, because I could understand if the rover would do this on purpose, so it will free up some bandwidth, probably, and that's why it's in black and white, right? And because this is the mass cam we're looking at, you can see that in the link here, cam, and you can see the Sol here. So now you know how to read links. I hope you did already knew how to read those links, but alright. We're going to jump into this and be prepared, because what you're going to see here is absolutely crazy. I will also go more into detail about this grid here. There's a way to remove a grid, but I've noticed that it's becoming increasingly harder to enhance Curiosity's images. It happened right after the drilling, so it almost seems like we're gonna drill for like a couple of weeks and we're gonna have a secret board meeting. Of course, that's speculation, it's just fun. There's no way of proving that, but we did notice, I'm not the only one that is noticing the well changes in images itself. Yet I was really lucky with this one, and let me show you here. We go step by step. You'll see, well, I'm basically not going to cover the foreground, it's all about the background. So as you can see, I did a couple of simple steps here. You can see still leftovers of the grid here, right? And the rest is fine. You see fine areas, you still see some grid. Now the background particularly is kind of different here, because no matter what I did to it, you could still see like too much grid. Now I'm gonna zoom in really hardcore here, so you can see, and you can see that there's like a 90-degree angle here, a separation between the background and the foreground. It's almost like there's like an extra grid there. I mean, to the pixel, I'd say it's the same. Yet it seems that what they want to hide here is the background. So that gave me, so some clues here that they're hiding something in the background. Now what you're going to see here, it's really crazy. Let me see. Oh, do you see this? Now, keep in mind that there is still interfering due to the grid, but we can still clearly distinguish view shapes and interference by the grid itself, and that's why this video is really hard for me to present, and of course because there's so much detail in it. But when I will turn this off, we'll go back again, and this is not even the original image one, just for the effect. You see it's completely nothing there. And I found this and was completely baffled by it. And we're going to jump into this one. Now remember, because this was already inverted, it's just due to how I was working. As you can see, it was a monster job to pull out. due to the grid. And when I press invert here, this is the normal one. Alright, so this is not inverted. You can see this thing here, it's definitely artificial. It is artificial. Let me see if I can duplicate the layer. Let me call this brush, completely forgot to do so. We're going to draw it out for you guys, so it'll be a lot more clear, of course. I don't know if actually anyone appreciates me doing this, so do let me know in the comment section. Let's see, a bit small. Yeah, 3 pixels, just like I always do, 3 pixels seems to be the right spot. And you can see this, it's going like this. So now it's blue, it seems to be inverted, but it's not. I can guarantee you that it's just the way it works. So you have kind of a, it goes even further this way, and from here to here, it's kind of a bit destroyed area there. There's a little small bend here, and you can see that this really looks like some kind of structure. And we'll go to this will get crazy and crazy, I can guarantee you this. Even this little line here, you know, makes a 180-degree angle. And it all seems to be connected. This to me looks like some kind of building, and I'm quite confident actually that that is a building. And let me show you in the inverted mode. You can see it pop out. Looks some kind of weird dome structure, a front piece. I do believe that the background here is inverted like usual, which happens to your background. But nevertheless, it's still the same. You can still see this. But this thing looks now, I haven't seen this before as well, looks now more like a pipe here. And you can see there's some kind of, something goes around it, or actually part of this. And you know, this is absolutely wild. And this is really crazy. That shouldn't be happening, yet it is there. We're on Mars. There shouldn't be there anything, right guys? Let's go to the next one. Now I wanted to show you, yeah, let's go to the next thing here. And let me see if this is better. I think this is a better view here. You might notice this right off the bat. There is a circular structure here. There's an actual circle here, and there's something sticking out of here. So it gets more interesting. Now if I'll zoom just a bit in here, so you can follow the lines a lot better. And it looks like it goes, right, we can agree, right, that this goes like in a circle. And you can see this kind of line going like this, and it goes kind of, and they all connected to this thing. You still vaguely see this, and I can guarantee you that this has nothing to do with the grid, literally nothing. This is as clear as day, and it's some kind of weird thing that is hidden. And don't forget, at the end of the video I'll throw my images on Google Plus, the enhanced one, so you can check it out for yourself. I highly encourage that on my channel, and that's what basically separates me mostly from other channels, because me and the other team guys, we just want you to get into this and start thinking and asking questions. Now, even around this weird object, you might notice this, there's stuff like going out of it, and there's another really vague circle here. So yeah, yet another interesting thing here. And let's go to the next one. Basically you can even see like a pipe here. I know enhance this maybe just a bit further on, see. Now we're going to check out just a couple of small anomalies. Excuse me, and then we'll go to the really big one here. Basically I did want to show you first of all this little thing here, and let me go back. You can see right this weird shape, and it makes kind of an angle, too much angle there. And it goes like this. It's highly interesting. And why is that? You can see that there's a line here, right? And there's a line here, and it's broken off here, but it's still parallel to what is on the other side. So this gives us a good indication that there's something going on there that shouldn't be happening there. Now, I didn't want to cover this one yet, but it's really hard to see this. Now you gotta focus and think in 3D. Now I've enhanced it a bit here, and let me zoom out just a bit so I can recognize it a lot better as well. And you can see I've already been enhancing. It's really the trick to do this is not easy. Let me duplicate this layer. And this looks like a pile of junk. Well, once you adjust your eyes to it, just a bit of sharpening here. And you might not notice this immediately. Well, I'm going to draw it out for you because this is really hard to see unless you're seeing the object in its entirety. I'm going to draw out the outer shape of it. And then you can see this weird shape here. Now in a moment, once you start seeing it and your perspective will change on the entire object, you will say, that to me looks like some kind of base, like some kind of structure. So it already starts here. You can see there's some kind of square here, and there's a line here, there's a line here, there's an arch here. I'm gonna remove the lines a bit later on, but I'm gonna leave the lines for the moment, right? So this goes all the way here. Then you got this this parallel stuff going like this. Then you have another kind of arch here, whatever it is, whatever you like to call it. But this really looks like structure. You got 3 dots next to each other. At first I would like to call this actually yeah, it's kind of hard to see because we'll have to be zoomed in like this. You could just say that this is some kind of place where you just walk up. This looks a bit like a staircase or something, or a platform maybe. Remember, you're still on Mars, so it's a destroyed structure. Nevertheless, this is really interesting. You can look at it. There's no doubt in my mind that that is a rectangle. It's really big. It's a lot bigger than the grid we've been seeing. It does not interfere with what we're seeing. Well, that's phrased it wrong, but you get what I'm talking about, right? And let's zoom out. And you can now really see it sticking out, even when we're further away from it. See? And then you got multiple actually squares, because I forgot to draw out the small one here. Shouldn't do that on this distance, should like zoom in, and we'll zoom in again. And you can see that there's another kind of square-like shape. It makes a little small 90-degree angle there. And remember, this is one kind of big structure. It's just this thing already, Let's do it like this. Now there's some more detail in precisely I wanted to show you. Let's grab this one. You can see that there's some kind of arch roof here, and there is some kind of support beam here, and it's some kind of structure. It's like something in the middle sticking out. Almost looks like a roof to me. Maybe part of a walking area, or just walk from A to B through a tunnel or something. Yeah, never said that often in my videos, but yeah, it's really hard to describe, and that's the whole thing here. Now, what should I show you more, guys? There is so much going on there. There's so much detail going on. Now, this one's really interesting as well. I'll do this like this. Zoom in a bit here, and you can see this kind of arch, right? And you can see something else here. There's a straight line and like this. Now, that's not the main thing I want to show you. I want to show you this line. It looks like it's going up. There's some kind of junction here. One goes to the right, one goes down, and one goes to this arch here. And now this thing continues going up, and what we'll find here is some kind of dome or rectangular shape where it connects to. Now, I don't see this often. I really don't. I just literally saw this once in a really crazy anomaly video. I actually called it Crazy Anomaly video, and no, not a single rock found. It's like a really old video of mine. I've never seen that. That image was particularly crazy as well. That's definitely one of my crazier videos. Wasn't watched that often, but that's not necessary, of course. I remember, I think I was sick back then. But can you see it? This thing, mind-blowing. There's some kind of structure here, and something's going on there. This is this is what they were hiding. Now remember how what I've been showing you in the beginning of the video. It was absolutely crazy. You could see that there was some extra effort in hiding in the background. Now we're looking here, a really small little ball here, kind of like and then it goes like this. Now this looks almost again like a kind of road. And you see this one, it slopes down again, and I really like it. I mean, I really like the anomalies we found here. I was definitely mind blown here, and I hope you were mind blown here as well. And I think that would cover like the main anomalies. The rest is like intricate detail. I highly invite you to check this image out on my Google Plus for yourself. And of course, this thing looks interesting as well, but I completely ignored that thing. Look what we found in the background. A clear indication for me that there was, maybe still is, a civilization on Mars. For me it was, but no matter how different opinions we have, it's about that they're lying to us, and we have to fix this. We can't know for ourselves. We are not NASA. We don't have billions of budget. I would really like you guys, like, everyone send me $1 million. I'd be happiest guy in the world. And I'd definitely spend the money on getting a telescope. That's basically the whole reason why I turned on ads. Now I feel really guilty about that because I just didn't want to do that. But there's two things. I did this to get a telescope in the future. So it's like when you wait a couple of seconds for that ad, it's you're kind of donating at the same time. And I really want to hunt like anomalies on the moon, but like with my own telescope, because I don't trust anyone or anything anymore, especially when it comes down to the moon. And that's basically the whole reason. Although I always leave my latest video unmonetized until you know, the regular viewers have seen the video, out of respect for them, because I all love you guys. And one thing more there about ads, it does separate the people that want to give you, you know, just wait a couple of seconds for the hours I've spent to make this video and find these anomalies. Because I literally spent hours upon hours just to find these anomalies here, and to make it as accurate as possible, so I can back you up as the viewer as well and say these are anomalies. And I feel fit enough to, you know, combat NASA in a court, if that's what it comes down to. But of course there are no finance, nothing. But we can work together. You can press subscribe if you're not subscribed. You can press like. And I really hope to get that telescope in the future. I'm looking at one now, but it's already 1,600 euros. Already got like a really expensive computer for this channel, and the microphone, of course. If you check out all the videos, you know what I'm talking about. Chris has got a new microphone as well. I get a new computer as well, and it's not the easiest thing to do. But we are determined, you know, as people, as a team, to find out what NASA's doing. We should hold them accountable for their lying. Why are they doing this? And it's in there, and I'll stand behind my claims here. It's right there, and anyone else that has experienced this as well will tell you the same thing. People from all with different knowledge from different sectors doing this, people that even have more knowledge than me, they know it's in there. And you have to start doing this for yourself to give you that wow effect, to you know, get excited about this. And that excitement and energy is exactly what we need to bring down those people that are lying to us. We want the answers, and that's it. What the hell is it? That thing here. You know what? If you don't like the kind of details here, you say, man, it's still pixelated, don't believe the guy. That's fine. Then you don't believe me. Because of course anyone can be anyone on the internet. But all I can tell you that from my point of experience, which I've been literally born with a computer under my I use a computer as a pillow just for fun. basically training every single skill sector, whatever you like to call it. And you can see that that's artificial, and you don't have to be anyone to say that's artificial, that should not be in the picture, that should not be there. And you know, I hope you keep on continue to support us, stay on our side, watch the videos, and place some comments. Let me know what you think, because the input is really valuable for me. Even if it's just a short comment, I'll just check it out, and I'll always read the comments, might not reply always. Of course, I'm a really busy man, and I've got my responsibilities. I've got too much responsibilities on my head. That's basically how life works. So didn't expect to throw in a whole speech here, but thank you very much for listening. If you have come this far and listened to my speech, my horrible ranting here, have a nice weekend. Weekend is almost over, such a sad thing. But hope you enjoyed the video, and definitely let me know if you've seen this, especially particularly the structure in the middle, which looks like some kind of triangular thing here, and it's so crazy. Let me know if you've seen the anomalies, if I've done a good job on presenting this to you. And I'm really happy, you know, by using these lines. If without these lines, it's almost impossible to present this for you. So once again, thank you very much. Subscribe, do not forget to press like, and see you in the next video. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for a new and exciting video. This time we got to really, you know, I haven't done such a video in a long time. I do this regularly. I said many times, I don't believe that many are ready to see and accept this, and understand how this happens. Now, we're on the newest Sol. As you know, I'm not quite too fond of a lot of curiosity from this, and I'll tell you exactly why. I've done this many times on YouTube, and you should definitely check this out for yourself. It has 437 kilobytes size. Now we go to a color image. So this image doesn't even contain color data. And you can see it's just as rocky. So the amount of the image size should be around the same. But you go here, you see about outstanding. But the reason it is, you know, you have a grid here, and you would say, alright, so the image by itself already contains less data. It doesn't seem to be the case, because I could understand if the rover would like do this on purpose, so it will free up some bandwidth, probably, and that's why it's in black and white, right? And because this is the mass cam he's putting out lately, but by accident, because hey, I still do check it out, of course, still a big Curiosity fan, although, well, opportunities like awesome too. Now we're on Sol 644, and immediately what you should notice here is the grid that they've put down over the image. I never understood why there's a grid on images. I just can't fetch 150 kilobytes, which is, you know, if you know what I'm talking, it just doesn't make sense. So I'm studying this up like more in detail than previously, studying up the well, they're using a special format for images, and they're using it's called ICER, and you can make images, compress them lossless. So it's lossless compression, and it should be really